breaking down the political landscape. This is KQ Truth for you. Political honesty rooted in God. This is KQ Truth for you.
Good evening. Welcome to KQ. I'm Ken.
I'm Elon.
Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. This is KQ, the truth for you.
Good evening.
Welcome to KQ.
I'm Ken.
I'm Kevlon. Hey, we're coming to y'all for another episode. It's a very, very volatile time right now. We can't do enough of these, but we apologize for not hitting our cadence as we would have liked to. But we are back at you one more time. Always trying to do the one thing, which is to orient the public as to the political landscape so that we can make the best decisions as a people that we possibly can.
Yes, sir. That's what we're here to do. And my goodness, we got ourselves a dang on hot spot going on right now, Kev.
Yeah, today's show will be.
They say our president ain't been doing too great lately, but at the same time, that man has got an all-out co-president.
A co-idiot. And you know, I
thought you said co-idiot.
Yeah, I hate to be judgmental of people. You know, that's not my thing. But when people have power and influence over your lives, then it's best to just go ahead and call a spade a spade. You know what I mean? We ain't gonna dilly-dally around with this thing.
Yes, sir.
Now, today's presentation is going to be somewhat complex. We got to go into the weeds a little bit, but I think you're going to get the point at the end. So we're going to look at a few examples of the lunacy that is portraying itself onto our political landscape nowadays. Woo!
Yes,
sir. I tell you, Ken, it's a good thing. Two things. It's a good thing that A, that I'm not a Republican, and B, that I'm not trying to run a town hall meeting.
Yes, sir.
Those two things aren't mixing too well right now.
When you take away people's, what the money they're receiving fraudulently, they get very upset, and they basically want to kill me because I'm stopping their fraud. And they want to hurt Tesla because we're stopping this terrible waste and corruption in the government. And well, I guess they're bad people. Bad people will do bad things.
Yes, they will. Oh my goodness! Yeah, man, this guy is off the chain, man. He's trying to take over our world, man.
Yeah, now first things first, we have to say we do not like violence. We do not like setting fires and all that. If you're doing that, just to heck with you. I hope they catch you, put you away. However, this is not a few bad apples running around. Now, how many times do we hear about the bad apples theory when we speak about January 6th, for instance? But
never.
a few bad apples running around, lighting cars on fire or whatnot, that is not the democratic establishment. That's a few bad apple idiots, individuals, or another theory, Elon Musk has a lot of money, and perhaps it would be beneficial for him to have a few of those cars burn up as his stock plummets so that he can get insurance write-offs and all of that kind of stuff, and bring sympathy to his cause. After all, he is on a media campaign denigrating the media because of those. Denigrating Democrats because of those fires. So it's serving its purpose.
Yeah, I hadn't seen too many people get caught doing it.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure they would have had them parading all over Fox News and stuff if they had caught one of them.
Yeah, they don't have no video cameras. He can't afford video cameras.
I mean, at the whole dealership, they ain't seeing nobody doing none of this stuff. It's just they come back in the morning and it's just there.
Exploding Teslas all over the place, not one individual.
Right. Yeah, man. Something's going on.
I don't know. I don't have no evidence of that.
Yeah, that sounds like our George Floyd protest provocateurs. Sounds something like that. You know what I'm saying? The people starting fires that wasn't even Black Lives Matter. They was just straight up MAGA.
Yeah. And so this is what you're gonna hear. You're gonna hear a lot of squealing going on because as he points the finger and calls people fraudulent because they want their Social Security to work right and because they want public funding to education. He gonna point out. He gonna say that that's fraud. So if anybody does anything against him, then automatically we're supposed to have sympathy and we're supposed to blame people for not wanting to cut that doggone waste. It's a red herring. If you want to light a fire, don't. Okay. However, that doesn't take away from the dastardly deeds that they're doing to this government. They're trying to dismantle it all, take it apart, lock, stock, and barrel, so that they can prove that government doesn't work. It's like government doesn't work. Elect me and I'll prove it.
Right. No doubt. Oh.
Hey.
All right. We're going to skip on to the next video over here. A little more Randy Rhodes with the commentary.
A period in American history. This is so bizarre and so unneeded and so unnecessary, and it has absolutely nothing to do with anything that anybody who legitimately, cast a ballot because they didn't think the economy was, producing what it should be producing, that they voted to, change horses, and this is what you got instead. And I'll tell you something. Even the white supremacists think the white supremacy is a little bit much. I swear to God. Nick Fuentes, he actually, Brett found this. I didn't even see this, but this was like an amazing admission by, Mr. Hey, let's make this a medieval Catholic nation. Swear to God, this is Nick Fuentes' view of what a MAGA republic would look like. He wanted women not being able to vote. He wanted women in veils. Actually, he went that far. He didn't want anybody to have contraception. Like an uber white Catholic country is what he was all about. And then the other, I don't know when this was said. Do you? I don't know when this was said, but he said, the left is right. The left is right. Trump is nothing but a demagogue.
Liberals were right fundamentally about Trump. Whether he has good intentions or bad intentions, whether he means well or not, some people blame his advisors. Some people blame people around him. Whatever you think about his culpability, he is in effect, okay, maybe not consciously or intentionally, but in effect, what he is a demagogue. What he is a populist demagogue.
Oh.
And directionally, what liberals said about him, which is that he was stirring up the rubes, animating the rubes with nativist rhetoric and ginning up resentment against the system to empower himself and the people around him, and then brought the swamp closer to the periphery in his first and second administration, willing to say and do anything. Yeah, that all kind of turned out to be true. Yeah, that basically turned out to be true.
See there? They get it.
Welcome to the land of I told you so.
Man, they get it. They see what's going on, man. But it's just weird that a lot of them ain't even watching this guy, man. And this is the guy that brought them to where they're at. They don't even they ain't even paying no attention.
Yeah, it's a stunning admission. It's quite the turn of events that gets you to a point when you're a full body and MAGA racist, to where the only thing that would make sense now is for you to go ahead and cop to the fact that the guy you've been supporting is a demagogue. That's a strong admission. My goodness.
But it's so true. So true. We already told him. We've been told him. Man, yeah. And speaking of right-wing influencers, back in the day, I think it was right around the time when Donald Trump got the attempted assassination.
Right.
And is that when that happened?
Yeah, I think it was around September of last year.
Yeah. So what was going on back then was right-wing influencers were duped to work for covert Russian operation. And they were finding all the evidence of of U.S. influencers getting money, getting paid for doggone putting out crazy propaganda stuff, all talking points coming straight out of the Kremlin. And Russia was paying for this stuff. And and so they were basically this very last election, they were influencing the election with the propaganda and paying people in the United States to carry it out.
Yeah, they have a target media, males between the age of 18 to basically 30 years old, the people who get their news from social media, that men will tap into other men who come off as strong alpha males, pushing back against the establishment. And it was strictly Russian propaganda that was being promoted. Tenet Media was the organization that RT targeted. And RT, of course, is Russia Television. They are state-run television, straight out of the Kremlin. And they were paying upwards of $100,000 per podcast episode to these influencers, paying Tenet Media. And the influencers, the Justice Department did break up the operation, and they issued indictments to the Russian entities, but of course there's no accountability measure there. But they investigated Tenet Media and the influencers, and they could not find a hard-clad connection that they were aware that this was a Russian propaganda organization or a Russian propaganda plan. So turns out that the guys got off the hook, and some of the biggest major influencers were sort of popped in this sting.
Yeah. You
but
got Tim Pool, David Rubin, Benny Johnson. Yeah, all of them guys.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so it broke this one up. But believe it or not, I would think that there would be a whole lot more of this stuff going on than what was publicized at the time.
Right.
And these people had influence, and they caused people to think things that were not true. They were promoting strictly Russian propaganda. Everything that the Kremlin wanted said, things that were disparaging to the Democratic Party were false, that were disparaging to the Ukrainian war effort, to keep Vladimir Putin from realizing his imperialistic ideals. That was the whole plan. And so the thing is, it used to be that they would go on Facebook and put up little ads and put up different stories and make them look real. Now they actually had Americans pushing their propaganda. And the Republican Party is the perfect conduit. They will sign up and go with it, hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah, if there's some money involved, they'll get on it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, be aware of your political landscape, everybody. And this guy's going to explain it a little bit more here.
Yeah, so it appears that the Russians have actually learned and grown organically in the way that they've done this propaganda. They've been doing the same kind of intrusion into multiple countries. Like they've done these kinds of things in Europe, but they've done it in the United States. A great book on this subject is Putin's Playbook by Rebecca Koffler, where she's talking about what they're trying to accomplish. They're trying to sow division and discord wherever they can. And they've grown from, Igor in his St. Petersburg cubicle trying to sow disinformation to actually getting authentic users involved. And that changed the game. That's very, very different than what it was before. Because it has more credibility when it comes from an authentic user. The question now is whether that authentic user really believed that and they were just pushing that narrative, or whether that authentic social media influencer was being influenced by Russia or just on the Russian payroll, or we just don't know which this is.
And of course, I will add that the Trump administration, once they got in, the first thing that they did was they stopped all investigations into Russia and their influence campaigns. So they are free to go now.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think that's the biggest problem we have is being able to delineate real information, actual facts from propaganda. I think that the biggest thing that got Kamala Harris beat in this election was propaganda.
Yes.
That's why we have KQ.
Yeah, we trying to break it down for y'all, man. So not only did he cut Trump cut that line of communication off, Trump administration cuts funding for program that track Ukrainian children abducted by Russia. Yeah, they're working on
another example. Another
this.
example of the direction that this administration is heading. They, of course, we saw when Trump got on TV and berated the Ukrainian president and acted like a complete fool, and really attacked him for no reason. In the media prior to that, he called him a dictator, which he is not, and he said that he should have never started the war. So I've never seen somebody start a war by sitting still in their country as they were invaded, but that's what he said. This is an example. The United States government had an outfit out of Yale University. They were funding to keep track of all of the children that were being stolen from Ukraine during this horrific illegal war that Russia instigated upon them. And now that has been cut off. So we're turning our back on our Democratic ally in favor of Russia, and Trump already admits that he trusted them. Somehow he trusted that former KGB agent who likes to invade countries.
Yeah, this data is absolutely critical to Ukraine's effort to return children home. The foreign aid freeze has jeopardized and may ultimately eliminate our informational support of Ukraine on this front. Yeah.
The intentions are clear.
Yeah, the intentions are very clear.
Give Putin what he wants.
Yep. Russia and Ukraine carry out attack. Oh, this is after the phone call. So yeah, after this little phone call they had the other day where they talked and Trump came right back and said, hey, they agreed not to attack any of the infrastructure, energy infrastructure. Well, guess what?
As soon as they hung up.
Very next day, they boom start shooting at each other's infrastructure. Hours after the Putin, it's just hours after the call. Yeah, they're still targeting Ukraine, man. They still got them on the hook. My goodness.
You can't trust Putin as far as you can throw him, which means you can't trust Trump as far as you can throw him either. You can trust Trump to dismantle the federal government, though. You see, this is not only something that's geopolitical, but it lands at your front door. They're trying to take down the entire government structure. The best way to do that is to make it not function so that everybody gets in an uproar and they have a negative view of that particular government agency.
Yeah. So with that being said, 47 local Social Security offices to close after Doge cuts. Oh man.
Yeah.
Back to Elon. Yeah, back to Elon and Doge. See, it made that whole circle, Kev.
Yep. It's called a circle, Ken. Hey,
my goodness.
So anybody who needs to change their address or even initiate their Social Security payments, they're changing it so you can't do that stuff remotely. You have to go into an office. And at the same time, they're closing down the offices and firing tens of thousands of Social Security agents. So the people that answer the phones are getting fired, that the offices are getting closed, and the services are being limited to face-to-face only.
Look, 2 weeks ago, Kev, 2 weeks ago, I needed a copy of my Social Security card. I looked for it. I couldn't find it. So I go down to the office like I've always done. I've done it maybe 2 or 3 times when I couldn't locate my Social Security card. And the other times it was like you walk in, the first time I walked in, I sat down with a lady, boom, she gave me the paperwork, I filled it out or whatever. She put something in the computer. A couple of weeks later, my card showed up in the mail. Second time I went back, which was a few years ago, they had a little computer terminal. You go in and put your little information in the computer terminal, you leave, boom, you get a Social Security card in the mail. This time I walk up 2 weeks ago. There's two guys. Well, a guy that looked like he worked there, and then another guy that looked like a bargain basement security guard officer, but he was armed. And the guy handed me a little piece of paper with a barcode on it. He said, "Hey man, we're not taking anybody, no walk-ins. We're short-staffed. The only thing we got now is you can just come in here and put in for an appointment. And chances are we won't see you until next week, Friday, or the week after Monday. So you have to put in for an appointment just to go down there to order another Social Security card. It seems like we're going backwards in technology. Certainly in service, we're going backwards. Yeah, that didn't happen till
That's
Trump.
the whole intent.
Yeah.
That's the whole intent. Imagine if everybody. Now, first of all, remember, Social Security serves people, children who've had deaths of their parents, and it serves the elderly, and it serves people who are disabled. So those are strictly the people who are less likely to be able to function and do things electronically and or face to face. How about that? So they want to get everybody in an uproar so that they can say, you know what? This thing doesn't work. And it doesn't work because it's government. So we're going to let this corporation over here handle it. It's called privatization. This is a privatization scheme. They're going through the entire government, and they're doing this with all of our agencies. Just keep your eyes open. You will see it. You can't avoid it. I mean, it's unequivocal. These, and I'll point out, zero of the things that we've talked about were threatening to our safety and security prior to this administration's inauguration. So when I say these 4 words, please forgive me, but we told you so.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about, man. It's March Madness now on a couple of fronts, man. We got doggone March Madness going on with the basketball, and oh my goodness.
Ken, I will say this about your visits to the Social Security Administration. At least you didn't have to go down there with a gaggle of Christians and do a prayer vigil.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, man, y'all know what this is. This thing on KQ, man. We trying to keep life popping for everybody, man. Keep life popping.
Yes,
Y'all,
indeed. Hopefully next time
safe.
it's time for us to go down and vote, that we will pick the right type of people to put in office.
Yes.
Yeah, let's
vote
hope
like your life depends on it in the primaries, man. That's where it starts.
Yeah, and vote locally and work your way up to the top. And hopefully the fabric and glue that's holding this country together will be intact and give us another chance to pick. And next time we won't pick a demagogue.
Yeah. KQ.
KQ, everybody.
1, 2, KQ. A doodle-doo, can you dig it? And all I wanna do 1, 2, is just listen to you. KQ, politics 72. Can you dig it? 1, 2, KQ. A doodle-doo, can you dig it? And all I wanna do 1, 2, you wish just listening to you. Thank you, politics 72. Can you dig it? KQ. Doodle-doo. Can you dig it?
1, 2, KQ. Doo-doo-doo. Can you dig it? Yeah, can you dig it?